It worked. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? I hope you are all doing wonderful. You wouldn't believe how many times that I was like pulling this and moving that. Nothing would seem to be working. But welcome to the stream, everyone. It has been a very, 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 very long time since we streamed. It is good to see everybody. It's wonderful to see everybody. Man, I can tell you one thing is like, streaming is the one thing I always miss the most. It's always the one thing I miss the most. I miss hanging out. And I mean, think about this. How are you supposed to get your weekly dose of topics that you care so little about, but for some reason you still come back to hear me rant about rockets, Disney, and Star Wars? But welcome back, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you are all doing very, very well. And oh, I know we're already talking about rockets. Have you seen SLS? It's in the trash can again. It's in the broken. It's broken for the 600,000th time. It's broken. It is broken again. That poor rocket. I mean, that rocket needs a hug. Everybody, we need to give SLS a hug. It needs a hug. I think that's what it needs in the end. But welcome, everybody. It's very, very good to see you. Your merch shipped? So did mine. So did mine. My order, like I have a few samples for when it was like being tested and stuff, but I want my order. I want my order, and it finally shipped. So I'm super excited. Super excited to get all my stuff I ordered. But welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A lot of people have already gotten theirs. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really glad. I know I've seen some of the tweets, some tweets going through. So I've seen some go through, and I'm super glad you guys are getting it. All right, let me check in with the, oh my gosh, the announcement list is this long. Anyway, thank you so much for the resubscription. Very much appreciated. 4 months. Hey, Scar, happy to see you back. Well, thank you so very much. And Pixie, thank you so much for the 1 month resubscription. And Extreme 88, thank you so much for the 26 month resubscription. Scarwoo, 26 months. Glad to see you. Hope you're feeling better. And the James Webb Telescope, I know, dude, we're getting actually close. I can't say it's fake anymore. It's finally actually becoming a reality. Let's see. Dennis, thank you so much for the 23 month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Eleanor Street, thank you for the bits. Very, very much appreciated. That chat is moving so fast I can't see anything. Let's see. Storm, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Mooniness, thank you for the prime. Very much appreciated. Rego, thank you for the 1 month resubscription. And Kelly31, thank you for the 23 month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Let's see. What tap 8282. Thank you for the 11 months. Very much appreciated. CD Max, thank you so much. Whoa, shaky. Whoa. Hermitcraft extra shaky today. Oh my gosh. My monitor over here is just going like this. I'm like, oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't break anything this time. Let's see. Pepper Arcade, thank you for the community gift. Very much appreciated. Let's see. Kevin and Bay, thank you for the 1 month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Let's see. Matt Lane, thank you for the 1 month resubscription. Jenny 9997. Thank you so much for the gift. Also, very much appreciated. Let's see. Mr. Chris 91, thank you for the 3 month thank you for the 3 month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Pink Zone, thank you for the 2 months. Very much appreciated. Oh my gosh, you guys, this list is very long. Oh my god. Oh wow. Let's see. Blue, thank you for the 19 months resubscription. Very much appreciated. It's lovely to see your face on stream again. Well, it's lovely to see you also. Thank you for the 19 month resubscription. Deathblade 0, thank you for the 5 months. Very much appreciated. Bring on the jelly. Can you see Jelly? You can see her head like really vaguely in the background. You got to look close. Get close to your screen. Let's see. Stephen Doom, thank you for the brand new subscription. And Winnie, welcome. Winnie, thank you so much for the 45 months. It's very good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Just shy of 4 years. That's wild. Winnie, thank you once again so much for the support over all these years. I hope you are doing wonderful and keeping up with your artwork, of course. But yeah, 4 years. That's wild. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see, Merc the Man, thank you for the brand new subscription, very much appreciated. And Moni, thank you for the 23-month free subscription. Nice to see you streaming again. Well, it's nice to see you, my friend. Nordic Chef 84, thank you so much for the app. I'm floating away. 9 months, very, very much appreciated. Now, this list won't go any further, but I know there was a ton more subscriptions and gifted subscriptions that went out, but at a certain point, it just starts cutting them off. And now I feel really bad. For everybody who resubscribed prior to that, thank you so much for the support. Very much appreciate it. I know there was a gift of 20 subscriptions from, let's see, Cubby Chubby. Thank you so much for that. So very, very, very much appreciated for that. But yeah, unfortunately that list cuts off. You guys were too crazy. You cut the list off. Strawberry, thank you so much. Or Strawberry, sorry, it's not Strawberry. Thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated.
Scar, wonderful to see back.
Shifty Pumpkin. That's such a funny name. I don't know why that makes me laugh. This pumpkin is kind of like a little shifty. I love that. Thank you so much for the bits. That is very, very generous of you and very, very much appreciated. Why is that name so funny? Oh man, you killed me on that one. Guys, thank you so much. And Mother Six Pets, thank you for the 29 months resubscription. Very, very much appreciated. Very, very much. You guys are... Gordon, thank you so... I mean, you guys are just unbelievable. I can't even keep up anymore. It's incredible, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. It's been so long since we streamed, and I wasn't even sure if anybody was even going to show up. She's going to be here alone, talking to Jelly. If she's asleep, she doesn't care. Morning, thank you so much for the 4-month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Missed you, Scar. Well, I missed you all too. I'm so glad to see you, Morning. Very much appreciate the resubscription. And the Charisma's a wild Charisma's comes in at 57 months. 57 months. Wonderful Charisma's. Been a mod forever. Done so much for the streams. So huge thanks as always, Charisma's. Thank you so much for the support. Very, very, very much appreciated. Ever thought about being at MCC? Eventually, yes. Eventually. I can't wait. I watch Grayton's stream. I'm like, I'm studying. I'm like, okay. And then at the end, I'm like, I'd like to speak to the manager of BuildMart, please. But yeah, eventually. Rum coming in at 55 months. That is wild.
You look so handsome today. I hope you're feeling better, and thank you for supplying me with endless laughter these last couple months. You went live on one of the hardest days I've had this year, and I...
Oh, your message cut off. Oh, it was too long. Let's see. Hardest year. I'm lucky I found your content. I love you, man. Oh, I appreciate that. Sure about. Thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. I'm dodging, weaving. Yeah, I'm glad. One of the happiest things for me is when people, like, I don't know, they get something from the videos that makes them laugh or just gets them out of the annoying world that we all live in sometimes. So I'm so glad that the videos, I don't know, give you a little break for a little bit. So I appreciate that. And no, that's incorrect. Guardians of the Galaxy is the worst ride, and I do hear this, Rum. Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot, the big roller coaster, is the most expensive ride ever built at a Disney theme park, which I'm a little skeptical to be honest with you. But apparently it's gonna be quite the adventure. Looks like a cool ride. I don't know if it's a ride that I could go on. I think I might break, but it looks like a wild ride. See, that's my frustration. See, that's what they should have left at Disneyland. Leave Tower of Terror where it was. It was perfectly fine. It was a really happy ride. They stole it. They ruined it. What they could have done was waited and put some kind of, like, if they needed to do like a guard. Actually, hold on. That's actually an interesting thought. Disney could actually do whatever they want, Marvel-wise, at Disneyland. Like, they didn't need to use Guardians of the Galaxy. They needed to use Guardians of the Galaxy over at Disney World because they have a contract where they can't use Avenger characters past the Mississippi line, hence Universal having their superhero island. I got way too kinky there. Let's see. we went real deep there. Let's see. Rum. Thank you so very much for the bits. That is wildly generous. I really appreciate that. Glad to see you back and hope you're feeling better. I missed the Disney rants. I know, I just went on one. Ren, that is beyond generous. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you so much for the 50 gifted tickets aboard the Starship Good Times to the viewers. That is very generous of you. 50 gifted subscriptions. That's very generous of you and very much appreciated. So thank you so much for that. That's beyond kind and generous. If you were gifted a subscription, make sure you put some thank yous in the chat. Use those jelly emotes, and of course, join us on Discord. That was wild. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for the support. It's very much appreciated. Very much. I say that we jump into Hermitcraft. There we go. We are back. Hello, guys. I am in a tree. By the way, my new building over here is a mob farm. So that is probably what do you think? 685,000?
Welcome back. Glad to see you're feeling well enough to stream.
Earthmad, thank you. Thank you so much for that. You guys are far too kind. Far too generous. Way too. Thank you so much for the bits. That is very much appreciated. I'm dodging. I'm weaving. I don't think I dodged any of those. I think I got hit by all of them. But yeah, it's very generous of you. I know yesterday I've been wanting to stream for a very long time. Yesterday I was just like, and so like I went to bed super early last night. By the way, I want to talk about, I started my first Star Wars book, by the way, pretty cool. But yeah, no, I went to bed super early and I'm like, if I could just get some sleep, I might have enough energy to do a short stream. So I did go to sleep early, but I did start a new Star Wars book, which was really cool. I started a Thrawn. It's the canon one. I'm gonna do Heir of the Empire afterwards, but you know, Thrawn's coming back and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I always liked Thrawn, you know, from Rebels, and it was like, let's get to know the man. Get to know the man before the next before wherever he appears in the next show. What, maybe Ahsoka? Let's see. So yeah, so far it's good. I was pretty blown away that within the first little, wow, that's not good. I was blown away by like in the first, like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes we're already, maybe I don't want to spoil it if nobody's seen it yet, but or read it and wants to. But so far I've really enjoyed it. I just enjoy, there's stuff I need to do on Hermitcraft, but I'm just enjoying checking the chat. But yeah, if you guys have other Star Wars book recommendations, let me know. I also got Catalyst because, as you know, I really enjoyed Rogue One. I like that movie. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I really enjoyed it. So I got Catalyst, which I believe takes place right before Rogue One, I think. Moon big, yes, Moon is big. Lag intense. Unless you're talking about lag on your end, it's not too laggy here. You could lower the resolution a little bit, maybe. That might help. Opinions on the Book of Boba Fett. Oof, I'm excited. All right, so let's talk about Boba Fett. Let's go sleep, and then we get our supplies together because we've got some landscaping to do because I'm tired of this area looking so ugly.
Glad you are back to streaming. Gotta catch up on all the bits you've missed out on while you were out.
Oh, Chris. Can we get some hype in the chat for Christmas? That's beyond generous. I very much appreciate that, Christmas. Very much. Holy the good chess monster. Yeah, it's gotten really bad. Christmas, I don't have any words other than just thank you so much, and I very much appreciate you, and the generosity is way too much. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Christmas? Very much appreciated. Yeah, this is a really bad chess monster. But like, hold on, look, because I'm a distracted human. When you build things that like this is Minecraft now, right? And I love it. I love it. I'm not complaining. Believe me, I'm not complaining. But look at how many different blocks are just in this little wagon right here. Like, look at all of them. Look at all these different blocks. And then, you know, like pan over here. Look at this one, or even this, just a little travel agency. Look at all these blocks. My brain can't manage all of these. This is too much. Things are flying everywhere. Like, there's too many blocks and there's variants, and I just can't stay organized. Someday in a future Hermitcraft season, I will, and I make this promise to you, and you can hold me to it. I say right now, I will make a proper storage system. I know it's wild, it's crazy to think about, but I shall make a proper storage system. I will make a proper storage system. I know, it's crazy. I know, it's like, what? Scar, you need to sleep. I tried really hard to get sleep last night. I did. I really did. I really did. Wasn't that supposed to be this season? And the previous season? And the previous season? All right, let's see here. Let's grab some materials here because I'm tired of this area looking ugly. I cleared this area out some time ago, and I need to finish it. So, Boba Fett. I know you guys wanted to talk about Boba Fett. So, I know some people out there, maybe they're casual fans, but there's a lot of people that are kind of like, Boba Fett, like, there's no Baby Yoda, I don't care. And I feel it.
After undergoing open heart surgery 3 months ago, I found your stream, and you pulled me through the munch in the hospital. Thank you so much, GTWS Jelly Love.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind message. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for the bits, and I really hope you're feeling better from your surgery. I know, like, surgeries like that can really knock you out. So I really glad the videos maybe, I don't know, gave you a few minutes of, I don't know, not thinking about all the stuff you're going through. So yeah, thank you for the nice message. I really hope you're starting to feel better and you're on the other side of that. But yeah, thank you so much for the very nice message, and thank you for the bits. I'm dodging, I'm weaving, dodging. But yeah, Boba Fett, man, it looks really good in my opinion. What I'm excited about with Boba is, okay, so first off, I know that some people like the mystery of Boba. So
your storage system promise has been clipped. D.
Oh no. That's not gonna harm me at all, Regulus. Not at all. Oh, there it is. It's in the chat now. Once it's in the chat, it's like signing a contract. I know some people, like, they love the mystery of Boba Fett. Boba Fett is like has always been like a mysterious character from where did he first appear? In the second movie, I always forget its name, Empire Strikes Back. And then of course he kind of unceremoniously dies in Return of the Jedi. And I think people have always wanted him to come back, right? I think we've always deeply like isn't there more? There's more to this, right? There's more to this. So then like fast forward to like the sequel or prequels, and then we get, you know, a little bit more backstory for him. You know, he's dad and then the kid. Clone Wars, he's kind of, I don't know, he wasn't that great of a character in the Clone Wars. This is okay. But him showing up in the Mandalorian was wild. And I think they'll be really respectful, because even the actor, which, as always, I always forget actors' names. I don't know what it is. I just don't contain this information. But he and Filoni had like a talk, because even he, Terry Morrison, there we go. Him and Filoni had a talk, like, you know, he understood kind of the mystery behind Boba, and then I think whatever Filoni told him was like, okay, I'm good with this. So that's what I'm excited about. So Boba Fett looks really cool, and from all the leaks and stuff like that, you never know exactly, but I think we'll see some familiar faces, and I think we will have some huge surprises. The showrunner and director, Robert Rodriguez, correct? Did I nail a name? Please tell me. Thank you. He has said that Book of Boba Fett is all killer, no filler. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I think that was one of the complaints that people had with Mando was There was what some people considered like filler content, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just enjoyed the ride, right? Like, yeah, there might be some filler episodes, but I'm just here for the ride. I'm here to enjoy Baby Yoda's company. I'm here to enjoy the adventures on the Razor Crest. Saddest day of my life when that blew up. The saddest day of my life. No, but I actually was really sad. It was sad, wasn't it? You were sad. Tell me you were sad when the Razor Crest blew up. It's very sad. It was sad. Sad. We're all sad. There we go. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create some of these tire treads, right? And get that through there. See, there were people who are sad. They were sad. The Razor Crest, they did such a masterful job on it that it really felt like a character. To me anyway. It really felt like we lost like a character of the show. It's so strange. It was just a ship. But it maybe it's not to the caliber of Millennium Falcon or something like that. But I would still say it's like it's a top tier ship in Star Wars. Had some good vibes. Loved it. Let's see. Have you tried the Ahsoka book? No, I've just got the Thrawn book. But if you recommend the Ahsoka book, that'd be awesome. I think. See, this is what I was going for a little bit. I was like, well, if it's not canon, what's the point?
This is my first time donating you, and I really wanted to do this all of the time. Thank you for your super inspirational content, even though you have disabilities.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. It's very, very much appreciated. And I'm glad you like the content. Very much appreciated. I'm Italian, Norwegian. Very, very much appreciated. Yeah, nothing is canon. That's right. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I always hear poor Rascals just like, oh, this isn't canon anymore. And I'm like, at this point, like, I was looking like, oh, if it's not canon, do I want to read the book? But now it's just like, it's just good content. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. That's my philosophy now, because before it was like, I want to read this, but then it was like not canon anymore. And I'm like, oh, well, that's sad. I'll just pretend it is. Just pretend. Oh, the Plagueis book. I know some people have talked about that before. Oh, because of the Siege of Mandalore. Ah, very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. What's your opinion on Pufferfish? Yeah, I hated him in season 6. I'll tell you that right now. Either I was dying by Pufferfish at my base, building my like volcano and all that stuff in the water, or I was falling into Grian's Pufferfish traps. Darth Plagueis. Rascal, could you link me to the Darth Plagueis book? Let's see. Have you heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis? My brother always says that line. You need to set a pufferfish up for great. No, I just die myself. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. DGG, thank you so much for the 30-month resubscription. Very, very much appreciate it. 30 months. That's wild. It's just floating away. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. We're leaving anyway. Grazer Forever, thank you for the 5 gifted community subscriptions. Very generous to you and very, very much appreciated, my friend. Very, very much. Oh my gosh, I had a lot of fun with my title for my video today. I knew it would give people a little bit of a start.
Love how inspirational and humble you. Great content.
Twiggy Boss, thank you so much for the nice comment. Very much appreciate that. And thank you so much for the bits. Taujin, Weaving, very much appreciate it. Yeah, that was a little bit of a troll. That was a little bit of a troll, but it's also true. I'm making a rocket. We'll see if we end up going anywhere that is, but we're gonna try. We're gonna get on a rocket. I mean, come on. Does this look like a sustainable place? No, it doesn't. Some people casual about it. Some people are like, but no. I'm getting a spacesuit. I'm gonna drop through that Bodum hole and see what happens. Who knows what's gonna happen? It's a little worrisome. Supposedly just die and lose all my stuff again. That'd be fun. Does look like a place. I don't know where we're going, other than hopefully not dying in the bottom hole. But yeah, just to finish up our Boba Fett talk, I'm super excited about it. I have my fingers crossed we'll see Baby Yoda. Who knows? We probably won't. That's fine. Actually, it's not, but I'm saying it is.
Just wanted to send you some love and hugs. Thanks for being you.
Oh, Kaz, thank you so much for the nice message. Very, very much appreciated.
Hermitcraft. Good to see you up and around. Just settling in after bringing the pup back from the groomers, so perfect time to chill out and watch a stream.
Let's see. Oh, and Aaron too. There are two messages came at once. And Aaron, thank you so much for the nice message. Also, very, very much appreciated. I'm dodging. Very much appreciated. But yeah, thank you, Kat. Thank you, Aaron. Very much appreciated. Very, very, very much. But yeah. So predictions. Hold on. Let me tell you what I want from Book of Boba Fett. I want to see Hondo. I don't know if we'll see Hondo, but I want to see Hondo. I like Hondo. Appreciate Hondo. You know, it's crazy. I didn't know Hondo at all when I went to Galaxy's Edge, and I'm like, who's this fella? Like, why is he flying the Millennium Falcon? Still don't quite understand why, but I don't know why Han and Chewie are really bad at keeping the Millennium Falcon in check. But anyway, really want to see Hondo. Hondo is what we want. Also, Cat Bane, he's fun. He's fun. He's got the cowboy hat and everything. So I kind of hope we see Cat Bane. These are all, things that I hope. I don't know if we will. I just have a feeling we probably won't see Hondo, but I still would like to see that character. Obviously, everybody wants to see Baby Yoda. I don't know. We could see him. We might not. There's a lot of rumors that Mando season 3 won't feature Baby Yoda.
To the bad bee? Behave yourself. Lil B joke for the Mr. Good Times tongue. So glad to see you're back. GTWS Jelly Love. GTWS Jelly Love is heart.
Oh, but Paul, thank you so much for the bits. Very, very much appreciated. Very, very much.
GTWS Jelly.
And thank you so much for the bits also. Very, very, very much appreciated. Very much. But yeah, okay. So yeah, Cat Bane would be super cool. Hondo would be a treasure. I mean, it was super awkward if they did like a little Luke, a little handshake. Maybe they're like they make up. I threw you in the Scarlac pit. It was the whole thing. It was a tough time. Like my dad. He was running around in a black suit. Terrorizing people. It was a tough time. We did a lot of things we regret. that is Luke's apology to Boba Fett. You were throwing my friends in the Scarlac pit. It was the whole thing. Let's just let it all go. Let all the bad feelings go. But I don't know. I'm just excited about it. I'm like, right now we're trying to get through Hawkeye, right? Because Disney has so little content. They're like, okay, so we need to like space this out. So we're gonna have Hawkeye, then we're going to have Boba Fett here. We can't overlap because we don't have any content. All right, there we go. It's a weird thing about Hawkeye. It's okay. It's an okay show. It's not maybe the same caliber as like WandaVision or Loki.
But pull over that pit.
Let's see. We should edit the bottom pull over. Edit the bottom pull over the. I'm confused. Let's see. We should edit the bottom pull over the pit. Not 100% sure what you mean, my friend. But thanks so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. A wild silver fox approaches. 80 months. 80 months. 80 months. That's wild. That's wild, Silver. Silver, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Silver. It's good to see you. Yeah, I mean, Hawkeye's okay. Like it's fine. But I love Wanda and I love Loki. Those were honestly some of my favorite Marvel stuff. Hawkeye's okay. It's just kind of a little show. What I liked about it was something that was weird, was like almost like nostalgia. You remember like in a lot of movies from like the 90s and maybe like later 80s, there was always the backdrop of a Christmas in New York. And that really hasn't been the case in a long time. So it was kind of like cool to see that. I remember so many movies in the past took place in New York during Christmas. So it's kind of cool. Falcon the Winter Soldier was good. The problem with Falcon the Winter Soldier is they tried to tell way too many stories and told very little at the same time. Because think about that show. How many different storylines were being told, and they needed to like take a deep breath and be like, let's cut out some stuff and like focus on the main parts. Like they had so, like, if you really think about it, like think about all the different storylines. And it's like a disservice to the characters who don't get to have that story like breathe and be able to like play it all the way through. That was my issue with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was still fine. Like it was a good show, but they were telling so many stories. Like if you go back, you're like, okay, there was the Casey Neistat, Captain America for a little bit. There was, you know, Falcon's story and Falcon's sub story with his sister. There was Winter Soldier and his sub story here and there and the Flag Smashers, and there's the Taskmaster and there's the Super Soldier. Like it could have maybe used more episodes or I don't know, but it was hard to like follow it. And there's a lot of shows that just like jam pack all the stuff in there, and it's like it's a disservice to the story and the characters. You're just trying to jam us all in there. But I mean, it was still a good show. It just needed a little bit more, needed something to like smooth out some of that. And also Elaine showed up at the end. I'm like, where'd Elaine come from? I'm happy to see you. Just very confused. Let's see. It needed more character development. It just needed to focus more. It needed more focus. They were trying to tell too many stories, because there's a lot of great stories to be told in there. But then it was like, oh, all right, we're done with this one. We're moving on to the next. I almost think that I worry a little bit with Marvel in some ways, that they're extending themselves a little too much. That's what I worry a little bit. Not that they're really doing that, but it's a fear that I have, is that they might extend themselves a little too much.
Entertained to know
not be able to keep
I'm
the
hanging
quality.
up laundry while watching, and Sunny is trying to steal my Swaggon hoodie again.
Wait, what? What was that, guys? You might be entertained to know that I'm hanging up laundry while watching and trying to steal my swag. Sonny, no! not the Swaggon hoodie. The Swaggon hoodie. That's hilarious. Let's see. Multiverse of Madness is coming. I'm so excited. Yeah, that'll be exciting. I think we've only had one Doctor Strange movie, right? Like one like dedicated movie. He's been in so many other shows and movies and this and that. Or I guess just movies. But surprising that he's only had one actual dedicated video or movie, that is. What for Marvel? What's coming after Hawkeye? I actually don't know what's coming after Hawkeye. I know what's coming for Star Wars. I do not know what's coming after Hawkeye. Show-wise. Because I know Multiverse of Madness and stuff like that. Doctor Strange is in May? Oh, I thought that was further off. Oh, well, that's something to look forward to whenever it hits Disney Plus. I haven't been to a theater since Force Awakens. The Force Awakens was the last movie I went to a theater to see. It's been a long time. Loki season 2, has that been confirmed with a release date other than just it being a thing? Moonlight, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I guess I haven't been paying that much attention. Is Hermitcraft season 8 almost over? No, dude. Just getting started. Have you seen the moon? Have you seen that moon? Have you seen Green's back alley? Dude, that thing's amazing. I can't wait to put a black market secretly in there. We got tons of plans. I'm super excited. Let's see. Yeah, Moonlight. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. Oh, Loki season 2 is 2023. Oof. Busted. That's a long ways away. Dang. The Swaggon black market. Let's see. Miss Marvel. That's another one. I guess I need to go look up and see what's coming. I knew the general progression of like, once the pandemic swapped everything, then there was, they did Wanda, and then Captain, and then Loki, and then Hawkeye. And after that, I was like, I have no idea what's going on. But as for Star Wars, next year is a pretty jam-packed year. We have what? We're coming up on Book of Boba Fett. Then we have, hello villagers. Where you all go? Why are you all invisible? You're still here. I see you. Okay, that's just creepy. I don't know what. There's some really, really strange bugs on Hermitcraft right now. Like, we're having issues of not being able to see each other at times. So that's just weird and inconvenient when you're trying to record. And then sometimes just entities just disappear straight up. It's very annoying. It is a very annoying bug. I hope with 1.18, whenever we update, that will alleviate itself, because it is annoying. Try to relog. It does help sometimes. Hold on, let me try. Let me try to relog here. Let me try to relog. Oh yeah, so Boba Fett. Some people still say that Bad Batch season 2 is coming next year. It seems a little soon to produce a show like that, but I'm not gonna complain. So maybe Bad Batch. We'll put a question mark on that one. And then we have Kenobi, and then we have Andor, and then Ahsoka 2023. I think that's the list. Oh yeah, obviously Baby Yoda show season 3. But everything I've been told or not been told, but everything I've read or seen is that Baby Yoda might not make an appearance in season 3.
So glad to see you're doing better, Scar. You're an inspiration and an absolute treasure. It's always so good to see your smiling face.
Oh, Springfire, thank you so much for the very, very, very.
On a ship floating off of the UK.
Oh, wait. Your last year message got cut off, but thank you so very much for the bits. Very much appreciate it. I'm currently on a ship. What? I'm currently on a ship floating off the UK coast. So the signal is kind of scratchy. Springfire, I want to go on a ship. Oh, dude, well, have fun whatever you're up to. That sounds like an adventure, man. That sounds fun. That sounds awesome. We should make a Swaggon boat. I mean, I actually had thought about that, right? Because we just go off into the ocean, and I was thinking about that's still a project we could do, honestly. Is like an enormous barge here that the Swaggon's gone off of. That could be actually really cool. It could be. Anyway, I think that's the schedule for Star Wars. And yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. I'm excited about that. Also, like, Disney, is like pretty worried about Disney Plus and everything because its subscriber numbers are dropping. And honestly, like, it kind of makes sense, right? Because if you're not a big Star Wars fan, if you're not a big Marvel fan, there's not a lot of content on Disney Plus, unless you have your young people, your younglings, enjoying all the animated classics and stuff. It's good for them. Turn on, you get a whole whole slew of movies to watch. But yeah, if you're not a Star Wars or a Marvel fan, like, it's not a lot on there. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. I haven't subscribed between series. Like, I don't blame you, honestly. You know, it's like I pay by the year, but I usually don't do that. But I just I thought there'd be more content. It's sad but true. Yeah, it is sad but true. I mean, for me, there's, you know, I love Star Wars, and I like Marvel more and more over time. I wasn't the hugest Marvel fan, but I've more and more enjoyed it. There's some good like Disney parks things on Disney Plus, but other than that, like, not a lot. Am I watching the current season of Expanse? Yes. I've only one episode in. It looks good. Last season was okay, but I don't like a lot of series when they like split up everyone. It's nice that they're kind of all back together, which is nice. So yeah, I think this will be a good season. Hey, when's the new Thrawn, or not Thrawn? When's the new Thor movie coming out? The like Thunder and Tropics or whatever it is, Thunder and Love or whatever. When's that one coming out? Is that a 2023? Oh, it's a 2022. Oh, very nice. Oh, very nice. Yeah, that'll be cool. Oh wow, July. That's not that far off. Oh, that's a Waitigi production. Oof. Do love Waitigi. Isn't he producing some form of a Willy Wonka movie or show or something for Netflix? That'll be interesting. He's one of my favorite directors. One of my favorites. Okay, perfect. All right, let's fly up and see how this is looking. Hey, that's good. I wanted to have a little curve. I didn't want it to be, you know, full on straight. I should have actually you know what? I might make a change. This might actually... He is doing something with Star Wars. But with everything with Star Wars, you never know. Like, they fired a director for sneezing. Actually, they probably would fire somebody for sneezing. Yeah, they'll fire somebody for I don't know, any reason there. It's like management just doesn't like one scene and like, you're out of here. You're out of here. Reshoot the whole thing. I want to make... Okay. I guess I'll ask you. Should we have the tracks go towards the water, or should we arch them more towards Passon and Gasson? So the little orange building. So do we do this, or do we do that right in the water? So water or gas? Let's just call it gas. So go towards the water or go towards gas. I mean, obviously it's way more work, but it could look cooler. Or we could do the barge. I mean, that's always an option too. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of water action. Wow, it's even shakes underwater. Both. I mean, you could do both. I mean, it's not all that inconceivable. Skills, it's good to see you, man. Oh man, it's been a long time. Hope you're doing good. Skills, it's very good to see you, man. I guess it's water it is. I do like the person who said both. I like the way you think. Oh, well, hello there, Jelly. Jeez Louise. Getting all wild over there. Somebody will be with you in a moment. Hey, Jelly, I thought you were going to sleep. You've been running around all day. I thought you were ready for a long cat nap. Oh, hey, I got something. If I could reach. Oh, it's so far. It hurts so much. So I have in my entire life never had a Nintendo console, but after being in the hospital so many times lately, I got a Switch. This is the first time. I tried to get one during the pandemic, but they were just never available. But yeah, I've had fun. So it came with Mario Kart and Smash Fellas. I haven't played the Smash one yet, but I have really enjoyed Mario Kart. I really want to get Stardew Valley. I like Stardew Valley on the PC, but I don't know. It was just a time where I could never quite like get into anything. I was just busy doing too many. They'll be with you in a moment. So I never got a chance to really get into it, but I think like Stardew Valley will be really good on the Switch, especially if I'm like stuck somewhere, this or that. But I think if I get stuck in the hospital again, yep, she's just decided to go back to bed. I think it'll be nice. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, so far I've really enjoyed it. It's such a, because I've never had a Nintendo console. I played them at friends' houses, this and that. It's such a different vibe than, you know, like a PlayStation or PC gaming, which is nice. It's a huge like change of pace for me, which I quite enjoy. Yeah, Green recommended Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I think that was one he had recommended. So yeah, I think it'll be fun, especially if I get stuck in the hospital again, something along those lines. At least have something to kind of do. Oh, and Breath of the Wild for sure. Yes. There's a ton of stuff. There is a ton of stuff. Who's online in Hermitcraft? Just me. Just think, we could go, you know, sleep in people's beds. We can eat their snacks. We can do whatever we want. But yeah, the last time I was in the hospital, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. Like I was in full like isolation, and then the hospital wasn't allowing visitors at all. So it was like,
hey Scar, I've always wondered, do you get your time-lapse music stuck in your head? GTWS lol.
Yeah, yes, I very much have had my time-lapse music stuck in my head for sure. Very, very much. Here's a question for you, just because you guys are all super cool and you come out to the stream. Have you guys seen Rendog's brother Juno's song of the song that he made? Like, it was like, what if I made Good Times with Scar's intro? Have you seen that song? Have you seen that? And if you haven't, there's a link on my Twitter for sure if you do a bit of scrolling. If you do a bit of scrolling, that is. It's very good. If you haven't, I highly I highly recommend you just going and subscribing, of course. Just fantastic content. Man, it's gonna be the next John Williams. Okay, yeah. So a good majority of you guys have seen. You guys have seen it. Should we make that our new intro song? Should we make that our new intro song? Should I get in contact with him and commission him for that? I've been thinking about it because, like, I mean, our song that we have now is like adequate, but that just is special, right? One, it's made by Ren's brother, like, you know, like he put so much energy and time and you know, so much passion into it, and it feels like it just fits the content. Just fits like the vibe of the thing. So go listen to it. Just like get a vibe for the song or whatever, and then think about what we currently have and stuff like that. Wouldn't it be cool if there was underwater Swaggon tracks? Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. I like the idea of the barge now. I do envision like an enormous barge here now. Like a ginormous barge. Think of those military things, you know, with the propellers on the back. Jono, why do I mispronounce everyone's names? It's just a service I provide. You know, people come from far and wide just to hear me mispronounce their names and butcher them, quite honestly. I mean, there's probably not a mod that I pronounce their name correctly. Pretty sure I mispronounced Azuma's name so badly when I first joined. I called him Exuma. I'm pretty sure I called him Exuma. Somebody and I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. Somebody told me in the comments that if I pronounce Azuma's name wrong, he's gonna get so mad that he's gonna kick me off because he hates being called something his name wrong. And I'm like, oh no. I legitimately, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I mean, I was brand new to Hermitcraft. Like, I was like, oh no. Oh man. I mean, that person was like honestly serious too. It was wild. It was wild times. Wild. Wild times. Anyway. All right, I think this will look good. I still like the idea too of having the crisscrossing track too. I think that could be cool. Did I watch Dune, Rascal? No, I have not. I canceled HBO a while back because there wasn't anything new. So I was like, I'm tired of paying $15. But now there's starting to be like an accumulation of content. So I think around January I'm going to subscribe again because I think there's Dune on there. There's a new season of Ascensions. What's that show called again? And if I'm not mistaken, is there a new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm? I'm not sure if there is, but yeah, it does seem like there's some new content finally on there. Matrix is on there, or will be. Dune isn't on HBO anymore. Oh well, dang. So I've heard mixed reactions to Dune. But I was watching these videos breaking down its like visual effects, its cinematography, and I was absolutely blown away. I'm like, I don't care what the story is. These visual effects and the way they produce them is stunning. Like the way there's some great videos breaking down the way that they designed these shots, and I was like blown away because from the look of it, like Dune uses lighting to its maximum to really create like an alien environment. So they have to use practical lighting. They have to use, they have to go out in the real world. And some of these scenes were incredible. There's a scene where they had like this natural light coming down. It was creating these hard edge shadows, and I'm like, whew, can't do that in CG or in a soundstage. I was just like, whew, really cool. Like CG, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but it's just so overused. It is so overused. There we go. I do think the Mandalorian's technology, the LED screens, is starting to bring. I think that's obviously the way of the future, and I think that's a huge step for CG because it casts that light that they're trying to portray on the actors. Because if you're just shooting in front of a green screen, you're going to get that blank dead light on the characters' faces. You're not getting any of the dynamic lighting and shadows and stuff along those lines. But having these LED screens that they developed first for the Mandalorian, and now it's appearing in a lot of different movies and shows, it's like a huge step up for being shot in sound stages. That's why the Mandalorian had such an interesting look for that, especially that first season, because if I'm not mistaken, that was the first major production to ever use the Void, or what do they call them, like stagecraft now or something. All right, there we are. So let's start to detail these tracks. And by doing this, you might think at first, like, what's the point? Like, but these are some of the most important little details you can add to your base or your build, is the little details that make the things look like they're alive and part of the environment. So if you just plucked down that wagon over there, so the one with all the cars, right? If you just put it down on the green grass, like, it's just not going to feel a part of the area. Maybe it'll look like a decent build. You're like, oh, that's a decent build. Got some cool details, this and that. But when you landscape around said build, you add those tracks and you add that landscaping to it, that's what brings things alive. That's what makes it feel all part of a natural environment. Makes you feel like it's living and breathing. Like just the little details, like the tree that fell over the roadway, all those little different things are, in my opinion, some of the most important things. Like, you can build a building, you can build a wagon, but having the mud tracked over this old road right here, that's where it's at for me. That's where the detail is. Like, look at this. This is the Swaggons don't care. The tycoon's an oblivious person, like just oblivious, just driving with like an enormous wheel. That's what I envision it, like a Willy Wonka, just absolutely oblivious. Just, but yeah, knocked over the light. These are the little details that seem trivial. You may never even notice them, but when you do notice them, it makes the builds just a little bit more special. Am I doing anything special for the holidays? In terms of content, not really. Just keeping up with my normal stuff. Honestly, I just don't have a ton of energy right now, and I have a lot more doctor's appointments, especially next week. Is that a wild Wells? Oh, well, hello there. So yeah, not a lot. I wanted to travel during the holidays, but unfortunately, with my current health and stuff along those lines, it's just not feasible. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, this is a sad fact. I told this to my new doctor. I'm like, since December 2019, I have not been anywhere other than a hospital or my bank's parking lot. And I'm like, it's getting old. It's getting old. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Oh, Christmas! I've got stacks of Legos to build. I got stacks. Probably do a Lego stream. I think it'll be a perfect time to do a Lego stream over Christmas. I think that'll be a fantastic time to do a Lego stream. Just need to work out like one of my cameras, and then we're good. Have I seen Mortal Engines? No, but I saw a trailer once that was like, oh, that's cool. I should build big wagons. There was like a trailer for the movie, and it was like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, how can I like make something similar in Minecraft, but like my own like kind of style? Yeah, I think Lego cannot speak. I think
my wobbly cat Ollie Oops wanted me to give this to you, and he sends you healthy healing snuggles.
Oh, that's very, very nice. I very, very much appreciate that. Thank you so much for the bits. Very, very much appreciate it. Very, very much appreciated. Counted my Lego sets. Cliff, you have 100 to build? Oh my gosh. I have... Wow, apparently I've lost the ability to count. I have 7. Some of those I've saved for a long time. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this on a Lego stream. And then it's like 3 years later, and I'm like, gonna get to it someday. Gonna get there. Gonna get there. What about the Mooners? Hey, I fulfilled my obligation to the Mooners. I killed B-dubs. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. That is looking better.
Hey Scar, I'm currently stuck at home with COVID and nothing has cheered me up like seeing you streaming again.
Oh, I'm super, super sorry to hear that. I'm super sorry to hear that. I hope you're round the corner on that. Hope you're starting to feel better. And thank you so much for the bits. Thank you for coming out. And of course, I really, really hope you feel better. Can we get some hearts in the chat? That's no fun. And let's give him some support. Let's give you some support. Get through that. I'm so sorry to hear that. But all right, that's looking decent. I don't know. I just find these things to be so important, so I obsess over the details. I obsess over the details. And there's chat. Chat just froze up on me. There we are. Now we're back. We are back. So I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this side with the path block, and then I'm gonna mix in the rest of the stuff. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. It's okay, Scar. Momo doesn't believe in the Mooners anymore. I know. We learned that in my most recent video.
Scar, isn't killing your campaign sergeant detrimental to a political career?
It took me a second. I was like, oh. Hey, you know, the man's living in a moon under the moon. I really feel like there was some shenanigans. I'll tell you that right now. Really feel like there were some shenanigans, but you know, it turned out there wasn't. We killed him for no reason other than the enjoyment of killing B-dubs, and I think we all did enjoy it. I love B-dubs. B-dubs is the best. An impulse raid, a wild impulse. Oh, thank you so much for the raid, Impulse. Very, very, very much appreciated, Impulse. I saw Impulse was streaming before I started. Was he playing Mario Kart again? Was he playing Mario Kart? I want to play Mario Kart with Impulse. I'm not very good, so when I started playing it, I thought I was the bee's knees of Mario Kart. I'm like, whoo! First place every time, rounding every corner perfect, and it turned out I was on like the easiest possible mode. I'm like, oh man. But it was good. I kind of learned the game a little bit. It was fine. But yeah, I was like, oh man, I am unstoppable. Look at me. Woo. Yeah, it had steer assist on. It did. It did. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's still fun. I really enjoyed it. Hermitcraft Mario Kart. Dude, I would love that. I would love that. Is there an online version? I think there is. I believe there is. B-dubs had to die twice for good measure. Yeah, he had to die. Had to happen. Dude, yeah, Mario Kart and Minecraft would be so much fun. Like, I mean, it's got to be possible. It's got to be possible to. Well, I mean, think of Mario Kart, right? Okay, so you have the racing, and that's straightforward. But you gotta have the power-ups. You gotta have the power-ups and stuff along those lines. That's what really makes Mario Kart like special, especially if you're playing with friends. Like, I enjoy playing by myself, just, you know, it's fun. But there is something really special about shooting your friend and knocking them out of first place. Like the sheer terror.
Race. Believe Rascal will crush you. D.
What is this? What is this, Regulus? The mods are up for a race. Believe Rascal will crush you. Oh, Rascal. What is these? Are these fighting words, Rascal? Do you know how great I am with steer assist? Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think it sounds like Rascal is really. All right, all right. Rascal is quite good at it. Okay then. I don't know if you know how good I am with steer assist, but we'll see. Let's see. Turbo Kart Racers on Hypixel is pretty much the same thing. I think I've played that. Man, it's been a while since I've been on Hypixel. It's been a long, long time. It's been a long time. What was the one game in one of the games they did in Hypixel a couple years back? It was like Cops and Crims or something. It was so well done. I couldn't even imagine what they've done recently. I should log on there at some point. See what's new. Hypixel's always very much impressed me. Always doing something new and different, pushing the boundaries. I know I've got some gravel here, by the way. I know I've got some gravel. Because we're gonna go to our next phase. Oh, there it is. Dude, you guys think I'm disorganized, but do you see how fast I found all the materials that I needed? You saw how fast that was? That was crazy. That was crazy. Oh, wells. The walls are not a place to be in. Let's see. Difficult to navigate Hypixel. It's been a while. I'm sure there's a lot of new stuff on there. What's my favorite cheese? I think it's always anything with stuff like food or something. It really just kind of depends on what kind of mood and or kind of like kick you're on at the moment. Like I love a good mozzarella, a little bit of sharp cheese at times, with a little kick of a slightly, or actually I would just say room temperature Swiss. Alpine lace might be my favorite as a kid. My dad used to go to the deli and get that if we ever like went somewhere. It was very good. I always loved that. Alpine lace was like a Swiss, but it was like an extremely thin cut. It was extremely thin. When we were in Florida, when I was like 8, my aunt was getting married. We went to this deli to get sandwiches, and whoever was running the deli counter had like no idea. They had no idea about their meats. They had no knowledge of meats. I'll tell you that right now. They did not know what salami was. They're like, I mean, we might have it. I'm not sure what salami is. I did not know what salami is. It's a staple of the deli.
But how much nacho cheese do you still have in the freezer?
I had some of that, like a little taste of it. I can't really eat much. I can have a little taste of things once in a while, but unfortunately, a lot of that went out. I thought it was just gonna be a little can. It turned out to be a whole thing. I was mocked relentlessly. But yeah, it was good. I can have like tiny little tastes of things once in a while, which is nice. Which I really enjoy cooking. I haven't been able to do much lately with health and try my best to kind of catch up a little bit with videos and such. But I have a lot of things on my to-do list and I want to cook. So I was having fun doing that in the summer before the stupid infection. I mean, I haven't been able to ride my like outdoor wheelchair since like it was literally the night before like the infection like blew up. It was so weird. I'm out, right? And I'm out riding my outdoor wheelchair. And I was having fun, this and that. And I get home and I'm fine. And then, a little bit later, I come out, I'm imitating my brother. And then all of a sudden I just get this wave of exhaustion. I'm just like, oof. Like, what was that? Like, I'm out there just doing my full-on impression of my brother, trying to make my dad laugh. And I'm like, man, something doesn't feel right. And I get on my bed and then I see like what is going on. I'm like, oh no. And then, think, oh, sweet, this is fine. This has happened before in the other feeding tube, as I have two, G and a J, the whole thing. But I'm like, oh, this is fine. We have handbucks on hand. I'll take these. I'm gonna start feeling better in the morning. It'll be great. It'll be perfect. No, the bacteria was not susceptible to that antibiotic. So it just gets worse the following day to the point where I'm kind of going downhill. Like I can't really think, right? So I'm like, my parents are asking me, okay, 1, do you need to go to the emergency room? And 2, do you need an ambulance? And I'm just like, no, what's an ambulance? Like, I'm almost like, so I'm like, what? And then they're like, okay, no, we're taking him. So they took me to the emergency room, and that's when they first found that, there's an abscess, there's this and this and that. The feeding tube is a disaster, but this is peak Delta for where I live. So the hospitals were absolutely overrun. So I couldn't go to my normal hospital as they were absolutely overrun, and the surgeon just said, you are better off not coming here. So, okay, won't. So we went to another hospital a little closer, which was also full, but it wasn't as crazy because they weren't accepting patients from rural areas, because the university accepts a lot of patients from rural areas where they don't have like ECMO and as many or can't keep as many ventilated patients. So they were pretty inundated. So we went there. It was fine. You know, it was good. Appreciate them. They cut me open. They didn't transfer me, and I was able to go home with antibiotics. Unfortunately, the antibiotics that they gave me fixed half of the situation. There were 2 separate infections. One was fixed, one wasn't, as that antibiotic was a generation too low. And so it just kept getting worse and worse. And then I go to the hospital again, and they're like, oh, the emergency room again. I'm like, oh, this never got any better. Hey, did you know that we put in a subscription for this medicine? And I'm like, no, nobody told me. Oh, yeah, they should have. Oh, well, they didn't. They didn't. And then infectious disease comes finally, and after they admit me, and they're like, oh, yeah, this medicine that they did send you, that they attempted to send but didn't send, because they never actually sent it to the pharmacy. They just, quote unquote, wrote it in their notes. Actually wouldn't work with your feeding formula and your heart medicine. So good thing you didn't take that. And I was like, well, it's a good thing, isn't it? And then, you know, they're like, okay, well, we'll figure out what to do. And you have like the internal medicine team in the hospital. So when you're in the hospital, generally, not all the cases, but you have your medicine team, and then you have your like consult specialist, right? Like, your medicine team is exhausted and has no idea what's going on. Like, they were making really bad mistakes, and it's understandable. Like, the hospital was over capacity. I was in the emergency room for almost 2 days before there was a bed. And poor emergency room nurses, like, they're not really equipped to handle inpatients, right? They're able to care for patients who come in, need a lot of care quickly, and then move out. And they're just moving in, right? They're grooving. But dealing with an inpatient is a lot of different like things that they need to do, and this and that. And it's a bummer for them, because they're like, this patient just came in an emergency. They need a ton of attention, but then there's also my inpatient who needs a completely different type of care. And it's super tough on them. But then infectious disease is like, okay, let's put PICC line in, send you on home with some proper antibiotics. And I'm like, sweet, let's get this thing gone. Like, nobody wants a PICC line, but nobody also wants an infection. So then they send me home, and on the way out, like the one of the medicine doctors comes in, is just completely oblivious to like everything. Like my medicines and this and that, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. I'm so glad I'm going home. I'm so glad. So then you go home. We're doing we're doing I can't remember the antibiotic's name, but it can be done in 2 forms. It can be done as like a syringe push and or a bag. And so we've been doing that for a while. The infection isn't getting any better, really. It's like the antibiotics helped. Like, it kind of like took the edge off of it.
I've been to 2 ER for 1 injury this week for tendon injury. GL in a recovery scar.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, Cam, that is... ERs are just no fun. I hope you're feeling better and on the road to recovery. I hope you're doing okay, man. I hope you're doing okay. So they're doing the infusion, and the infection is getting not worse, but worse sometimes. And then I get my booster shot, and my doctor's like, the issue with giving you this is if you get this could mask you getting, because we know what is going to happen to you. You're going to get a fever, you're going to get achy, it's going to knock you out. But we also need to be very careful that also isn't a increasing your infection, right? So if your infection's getting worse, the booster dose for your COVID vaccine is going to cover it up. And we're like, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. And I get hit, right? The vaccine, kind of takes you out a bit, gives you a little bit of a fever, and I'm like, it's fine, this is good, this is great. And then I'm like better, right? I one day just felt kind of cruddy, had a fever, and then I'm feeling better next day. I'm starting to think about what my next Hermitcraft video is going to be. The nurse comes to change the PICC line dressing, feel better, ready to go. And then just bam, a fever just whacks me down. And I'm like, oh shoot, is this the vaccine coming back again, or is this something different? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Maybe it's just a slight little flare up, and I'll be all right in the morning. Or not in the morning, but a little while later. Wake up and I am 10 times worse. I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, again, is this just a flare up of the booster dose or not? And the next day and that night, I was losing my mind. It was the first time I've ever full on hallucinated from a fever. So then my parents were like, do we need to go to the emergency room? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm not even sure what that is, but that's fine. And then they give me Tylenol and ibuprofen, and the fever comes down a little bit better. And then the next morning it's back full on again. And it's obviously at this point it's not the booster dose anymore. It's something else. And then I take a nap, feeling a little better, and I wake up and I'm 20 times worse again. And I'm like, oh, this ain't good. But at this point, I'm done. I can't move. I can't get out of my bed. So my parents had to call 911. They had to scoop me out of bed. They had to scoop me out of bed. And then getting to the ER, this hospital, my main hospital is always such a nightmare in terms of how crazy it is. This other hospital is so much chiller. It's so much chiller. And you get to the emergency room, they start stabilizing, giving me Toradol, Tylenol, a bunch of different stuff. Because I was in not a great spot. My heart rate was wild. The worst part is I had what they call rigors. If anyone has medical knowledge, you kind of know the wildness of a rigor. So I was doing that crazy. So I was just absolutely exhausted. And then they do blood, and they find that my neutrophils were critically low. I think an average, you get low if you get into 1500, if I'm not mistaken. If you know blood, low is neutropenic, I believe, is 1500 and below. I had 90 going into the emergency room, so it was so yeah, low is 1500. I had 90, and so then I was admitted. But yeah, so then it was trying to figure out what to do there. So yeah, admitted after that. And here's a frustrating thing I have about healthcare. They go into isolation precautions because my neutrophils were so low, right? And amongst other things, there were other things that were low. That was what was critically low. But then it's so lax. It's okay, we're not isolating ourselves from you, being that we're worried you're contagious. We're isolating ourselves from you to avoid giving you something. But they're so laxed with it. They're like, I dropped something on the floor. It's fine. It's fine if you just put this in your mouth. It's so frustrating, in that regard, because it's you have no neutrophils. And this one IV nurse, she was looking at the PICC line. She got an argument with my nurse about wearing gowns or not in the room, and it's she's like, no, it's just not against, it's just not really protocol. It's I'm just thinking in my head, almost every one of my numbers is on the floor, and you're arguing just putting on gloves and a gown. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much? Is it? Is it? Is it? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But yeah, that's super frustrating. So in the hospital, they took me off of those antibiotics that I was on, put me on another antibiotic, and it actually started to clear up my issue. And then they decided that I've been on antibiotics way too long, and they discontinued them as I was leaving, and the infection came back 4 days after I got home.
Have you read any of the reports from Tel Aviv University about an experimental molecule that breaks down TDP43 protein?
No, send that to me on Discord. Very interesting. But yeah, now I'm kind of back to kind of where I was, but stable. So yeah, it's been an adventure. It's been an adventure. I feel very bad for the doctors and nurses because in almost all cases, this isn't their fault. It's just a bad system. Like every one of them's like, just the system is just not capable. It's showing its cracks, or it's gaping holes. Like it's yeah, it's tough. It's not. It's like my doctor said, is that this is the worst time for you possibly to seek care. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen some stuff. I agree. I've seen some stuff. I've seen the dark stuff. Yeah, it's rough out there. The worst part about it is like the shenanigans that goes into like the fake protecting against COVID stuff that really gets to me, because it's like you do things that don't make any sense, but then you do, like, why would you take a COVID positive patient and move them back into the waiting room, sitting next to people in the waiting room who don't have symptoms of COVID, who are there for other reasons? But then you're so insistent that like everybody has their own unique blood pressure cuff. You can't have shared blood pressure cuffs, but we can put positive COVID patients next to non-positive COVID patients. But God forbid we wear the same blood pressure cuff. Like that stuff drives me up the wall. Stuff like that really annoys me. It's like, you don't have anywhere else, the COVID patients could go. You're gonna put them next to non-COVID patients. But don't worry, guys. We all had custom blood pressure cuffs. It's fine. We're all good over here. The custom blood pressure cuff will save us all today. I've seen some real weird stuff, and the sad part is the nurses too get it. They're like, it's what the people who don't actually work in the hospital tell us what to do. It's like, the administrators. But yeah, I could not get over the fact that they did that, where they would, have positive COVID patients and they'd send them back in the waiting room. And then, but God forbid you had a blood pressure cuff that was probably cleaned in between. But then they make it such a point, right? They make such a point to have a custom blood pressure cuff. So no shared blood pressure cuffs. Don't want to spread germs, right? But then they use the like pulse ox on everybody. So everybody's finger, obviously finger everywhere, and they're putting it in there, and then another patient and another patient and another patient, and they don't actually clean it. So I'm like, but don't worry, we got our blood pressure cuff. Yeah, I don't know. That stuff drives me crazy. Oh man. But yeah, it's always a wild time in the emergency rooms. I would very much hope that I am very well not gonna have to go back for a while. There's this poor lady, like she was obviously, not all the way there, and you felt super bad for her, but also wasn't stable and kind of a threat to people and like threatening people and this and that. And like the people behind the desk were like, this is fine. It's okay if she goes up to people and like threatens their lives. It's fine. I have so many weird stories. Like, I mean, this person was obviously needed help, like, but they just were thought it was fine that she was threatening people.
Okay, this now has me curious to see how Scarvis pronounces the technical term for blood pressure cuff. Sphygmomanometer.
I think he did pretty good. I think Scarvis did pretty good. I think Scarvis did pretty good, right? I'm gonna give it to Scarvis. I'm gonna say Scarvis did pretty good right there. Yeah, man, there's so many wild stories from the last few. I've never seen things this bad, and I've been I've been inundated in hospitals since I was 16 or younger or whatever. So yeah, I've never seen stuff this bad. The paramedic on the way there, like there wasn't a ton they needed to do other than just stare at me. And he must have noticed in my room that I have a lot of Disney stuff. So he just talked about his trip to Disneyland, which was very nice of him. I very much appreciate that, you know, not feeling very well, but you know, he just talked about his trip with his kid to Disneyland. And I was like, yeah, that's a good guy, you know? So, you know, I have lots of, you know, Disneyland artifacts in my room, and talked about his trip with his kid, went to Star Wars Land and stuff like that. Poor guy, like he's just going on and on. Like he went on to talk about how he's signed up for Starlink because his internet is like, I think he has like four, sometimes less megabytes. He lives kind of in a rural area around here. And I'm like, oh man. He's like, I used to play video games, then my internet. I think he's on a wait list not until like 2023, and I'm like, oh, that's rough. That's rough. Someday, Call of Duty number 685, you'll be able to play. Has anybody played the new Call of Duty or new Battlefield? Has anybody? I haven't played the new. I played the beta for COD, and I don't know. It was kind of the same old. I really wish that they would be brave to do something different. Just be a little brave. Be a little brave. Battlefield looks so good coming out, but then the reviews have been real poor. I'm kind of hoping, you know what's interesting about Battlefield is it usually releases with like awful reviews. Everybody hates it, like, oh my god, I hate Battlefield. And then Battlefield, the game that is Battlefield, like a couple months later, a year later, is just completely different from what it launched as. So I'm kind of hoping they fix some of their issues. I've been really wanting to play it. But yeah, it's always the case with Battlefields. Like Battlefield does not look like the same game it released as, and that's been the case for almost every Battlefield. But did you see? I don't know if you noticed the DICE has hired the guy who created Call of Duty 4, the guy who made you know, had the studio for Star Wars Fallen Order, made Titanfall. I'm like, is it Vince Gordon or something? Like that guy knows what he's doing. That guy knows what he's doing. That guy knows what he's doing. I'm kind of excited to see what he ends up doing at the studio. Let's see, I play 2042, but it's not very fun. It's really laggy and unclean. It gets better eventually. Yeah, that's what I've always seen. That's what I've always seen with Battlefields. It's like I've rarely played Battlefields on their release. Usually sometime later when a lot of fixes have occurred. That's usually when I've played like Battlefield 4. I've actually played every single Battlefield. Not all of them for long extended periods of time, but there is not a Battlefield that I've never played. It's the same with Call of Duty. There's not a COD that I have not played. Some I might just play for 5 minutes and just throw. I'm like, I'm done. And there's some that I might play a little longer, but I've actually played every Call of Duty and every Battlefield. Remember the old Battlefield, the old one, the old futuristic one? It was like, instead of like 2042, it was like, I don't know, 2156. I don't know what it was. I actually really liked that one. That was a good one. Favorite was Battlefield 2. I think there was a map called Ghost Town. I love that map. That was such a fantastic map. That was a fantastic map. I love that map because you could blow the bridges out. So you could blow the bridges. And people used to hate that. There's so many cool ways because there was long sight lines. There was roofs you could get up for sniping, and there was a really good mix of vehicles. This was my favorite. Also, it had an anti-aircraft tank. And it was way too powerful, and you could become anti-personnel tank, and it was a joy. It was a joy to hear the cries of anger. Nothing like Nothing like a grown man crying over a video game. And boy, that's what fueled me. Have I played Battlefront? 1, 2. Actually, yeah, I've actually played all the Battlefronts. Once again, it's the same thing where it comes down to the last Battlefront. I played it a little bit and I'm like, no, I'm not there. I'm not there on this one. It was when all the pay to win stuff was on there and I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of this. Oh, Gamer Rage was great back in the day, especially on the PlayStation when they couldn't hide. They couldn't hide in their own party or whatever. These days, I'm just not interested in people like being angry or mad or whatever. But a few years ago, oh my gosh, because when I would play Call of Duty, I would play with some people that were very good, better than I. But what I was good at was the objective. Like I was objective guy. I did things that nobody anticipated, like capturing flags, like super sneaky, all sorts of different stuff, right? I think I always was shy of a 2KD. I always wanted a 2KD. Always wanted the 2KD in Call of Duty. Never had a 2KD. I was always shy of it by like a point or two. Like it was elusive. I tried so hard. My friend mocked me for probably to this day that I never had a 2KD. He at times had like a 3.5, this and that. I don't know. He's always all over the place. But what I did have was a 6 win-loss at one point. I think it even went higher, but it averaged around 6-4. So I was proud of that. I was proud of that. Like I'll go to the mat. I'll go negative to win. I'll go negative to win. But yeah, Call of Duty just doesn't capture it. I don't know. Call of Duty wasn't like it was the best game ever, but what it had for it was that in a Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare, those ones, everyone played it. So you always had all your friends together with it. Instead of now, it feels like some people are over here playing Fortnite and there's some people over here playing Battlefield, or some people are playing Warzone. It's like everything is so scattered that I don't know. It was just fun back in that era because everybody played it, and you always, I don't know. It was just cool that there was this one game that we all played. Now it's like impossible to get anybody to play anything of the same, and that's what's tough. Let's see. Have you ever been to Disney in Hawaii? I have, and it's so cool. Water park. I've seen tons of pictures. Game Buggy. It looks really cool. Disney did a fantastic job designing that resort. Joe Rohde was the Imagineer in charge of that, and they did a really good job. If you haven't seen it, like if you look at the Disney hotel that they did build in Hawaii, it looks like a hotel that you would envision being in Hawaii, not just a concrete box that a lot of hotels are in Hawaii. This is a very beautiful hotel. They went above and beyond, like designing it and making it feel very Hawaiian. Whereas, like I said, a lot of the hotels built on Aloha, or not Aloha, on Oahu, whatever. Mispronouncing names. I'm 2 hours in the stream. It's not uncommon for me to just to lose my mind. They're all just like giant concrete boxes. But they did a good job. They did a good job designing it. I mean, what would you expect from Joe Rohde? I mean, what would you expect from the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Rohde? Yeah, Alani is a very nice place, but I've never been there. I've just seen a lot of videos of stuff people have shown stuff. It seems like people do like it a lot. Look at this. We've got tire treads here. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, that was the place I wanted to travel was Hawaii. So here's my issue. I looked at prices during the pandemic, and then I'm like, hey, wait, this one's doable. This one's doable. Fast forward to 2021. That same place is almost triple, but double the cost. And I'm like, oh man, I saw some discounts, didn't I? I was misled. I was misled. I don't know if I was misled or not, but I didn't realize that there was such huge discounts during like the height of the pandemic. When I go back, I'm like, oh, it's not good. That's not good. That's not good at all. Have I ever been to Universal in Florida? No, I haven't. Someday when I go to when I go to Florida, I very much want to go to Universal. I really like Universal right now. They're being super chill, being super nice, not being super greedy like other places. And I don't know, they're taking care of their annual passport holders. They're taking care of their guests, doing a lot of cool stuff over there. So yeah, I'm excited. Plus they're building their new theme park, Epic Universe, I think it's called, which looks absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen any of the concept art, check it out. Universal's new resort, which I know it got delayed a year because of the pandemic, so I don't know what its current release time is, but it looks wild. It looks really cool. And the thing about it, we haven't had a new theme park, like a ground up brand new gate in the United States since like an actual theme park. I think it's California Adventure. I think it's California Adventure, which opened in 2001. There's probably been some, you know, smaller like regional amusement parks and this and that, but any major players, I think that is. I know there's probably a Legoland or something has opened here or there, but like one of the, like the big major players. So I think when it does open in like 2 years or something, 3 years or something, I think it'll be fantastic. One of the interesting things about Epic Universe that they're planning on doing is creating an entire land dedicated to the monsters of Universal, which I think is really cool. I think that's really cool. It's a bit of a brave choice because they tried to reboot that franchise and it didn't really go anywhere. But I think it'll make a fantastic theme park land. I'm excited for that. I think that'll be a really cool place. What else? I think that's where they're going to put the Mario Nintendo attractions. I think they're putting that over there. What else? I think there's gonna be a Train Your Dragon. There's supposed to be a Star Trek thing. These are all like vague things on the concept art. I think the Harry Potter area has changed. It was originally going to be themed towards the Beast movies, which I haven't seen any of those. But then those kind of fell off a little bit, and I think they've reverted back to more of like the other Harry Potter stuff, whatever it is. So there's that. And there's an enormous hotel. But yeah, anyway, it looks like a really interesting park, and it'll be exciting someday to maybe go there. And I think that's fantastic because the whole Disney over there, Disney's got a little too big for their britches, as my old coach would say. Got a little too big for their britches. And they're making some mistakes. And if Universal was smart, they would capitalize on it. But yeah, I can't wait to go to Universal sometime. It'll be super, super fun. But that will have to come at another time. Universal is owned by Comcast. God, I can't wait to get my new internet. Can't wait to get new internet. Get away from that. I'm so like, we have Comcast, right? And you know, you try to
see you
get them to
streaming
fix
again,
it.
thanks for the great episode.
Oh, Socks of Doom, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciate it. And thank you so much for the nice comment. I very much appreciate that, my friend. Very, very much. And like they say, like, hey, you're supposed to have like this number and this number for your internet, and like we're not even half of what they say we're supposed to be getting. Not even half. Not even half. Like, even if my upload right now is like 12, and like uploading for a content creator is the most important. Like, I don't care that my uploads my downloads 200. It should be like 500, but we're only getting like 200 or something. But the upload is the most important because that pertains to streaming, that pertains to uploading. If my upload was a little bit better, even just a little bit, that like cuts out like 20-30 minutes of an upload. It's just like a little bit, just like a smidge would take a huge chunk of my workflow to being like, you know, I'll be able to spend more time working on a thumbnail or this or that. Instead, it's like tied up to the internet. So I can't wait to get newer internet that's actually what they say it is. There's a fiber in our area now that is cheaper, and it's like 500 by 500 or 1,000 by 1,000, and it's almost half the cost of Comcast. I'm like, come on. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully, maybe in the next month or so we can finally switch. But yeah, I did see that comment up there that Disney. I mean, it is true. Like, Disney is being extremely greedy right now. This new management is just. I mean, look at Disney World right now. They've got rid of the Magical Express. They got rid of the, like, their photo pass type thing for their annual passport holders. They charge people for parking in the hotels now. It's just insane. It's just, it's really sad to see. And I would say that we're not back to where we were like in the 90s, but it's still bad. Like the fast pass situation, like, man. Yeah, it's a real bummer to see this, and you see a lot of the retired employees, a lot of like the upper management or Imagineers, and they're like there's some good people on Twitter that are like not happy with this at all. So, do you watch Defunctland? Yes. Did you see Defunctland's video on FastPass? That was fascinating. They went deep into that. Let's see. Didn't they have to take $6 billion loan to survive? They didn't need to survive. They had enough money to survive. Plus, they had made such poor like acquisitions prior to the pandemic, like the $80 billion with Fox. Like that was probably the worst idea. That was probably their worst idea. What they're doing is they're trying to use the money from the parks. So they're trying to maximize their profits from the parks as much as possible to hold up the studio. As you know, like, the studio's not making any money. So Black Widow lost money and then lost even more money with the lawsuit. Internals lost money. Shang-Chi lost money. And then they've taken losses on all of the movies that they put on Disney Plus. So what they're doing is they're being extremely greedy in the parks to try to make up for those losses. But the issue is that they're killing any goodwill that they have with their guests, and it's starting to really show. Like, even the hardest core Disney fans are like, come on. And what they're trying to do is just, you know, short-sighted, quick profits, and that's not the game to play, especially with a company that's almost it's 100-year-old. It's going to be a 100-year-old company. Like, that's not how a 100-year-old company should operate. That's some, you know, nonsense company just trying to make like really fast profit and then sell off or something like that. It's not how you operate a 100-year-old company that has like a legacy and stuff like that. It's super sad because a lot of the people currently in charge of the company, there's not many of the originals left, the people who kind of understood how this operates, how this should operate, because Disney's not a traditional company by any means. It's a company that needs people who've kind of worked their way up the ranks. That's why, like, the cast members that go from being a cast member to upper management are usually the best, because they know what it's like being a cast member. They know what it's like dealing with guests and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's not who operates the parks anymore. It's not who operates the company anymore. And it's a bit of a bummer. I don't know if you guys have seen the Galactic Star Cruiser. I was very excited about the Galactic Star Cruiser. I mean, Green and I have been talking about it. My brother and I have been talking about it. And then every time we see like a new piece of concept art come out, we're like, oh. And then they start running, and then they start running their promos. And it was like, oh no. Oh no. Like, seriously, like the promos for that are really bad. Like, it's this is again my frustration with Disney right now. They charging people like $5,000 to $6,000 to go on the Disney Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, right? So when that came out, it was like, oh man, okay, well, I'm not going on this. But I was like still interested in it. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm excited to, you know, for people who can go on it. Like, awesome. And then I'm seeing what people would be paying $6,000 for. And I'm like, oh no, this isn't good. And what it comes down to is it looks like whoever designed this just doesn't understand Star Wars. They don't understand the feeling of Star Wars. There's somebody who would call Star Wars, this is the person who designed the Galactic Star Cruiser is somebody who would call Star Wars sci-fi. That's the person. Star Wars is not sci-fi. Star Wars is absolutely positively not. It's more fantasy. It's got almost its own thing. It's Instagram Star Wars. Yeah, it's not it. It's really sad actually, because the original concept for the hotel was quite fantastic, but it was dumbed down to no end. It's kind of, I guess what it is too. I don't know if they fully understand their audience. And it's crazy to say that about a company that is Disney, who's so data focused these days. But I don't think a lot of families are going to be that interested in that hotel. Who would be interested in that hotel are like the 20, 30-year-old nerds who have money, who love Star Wars, who want to like live out their Star Wars dream from when they were kids. That's who's going to put down that kind of money and go to something like this. If you're like a family of 4 or 5 and you're like, hey, Star Wars hotel, good Lord, it's $7,000 for 5 people or 6,000 or whatever. So yeah, that's just not who's going to be going to that hotel. So for the most part, what I think anyway, is that I'm not 100% sure this is going to succeed as a concept, unless there's some real wild stuff that they haven't revealed. But from the general like, you know, promotional videos and stuff like that, it's just not there. It's a bummer because I really wanted it to succeed, because the concept is interesting. It's like a Westworld. But a combination of poor thought and design and greed it's just too much for it. And I understand that the hotel is expensive, and it needs to be expensive to some regard because of the sheer amount of actors. So there's a lot of actors, and those are highly paid actors. Those aren't even traditional like entertainment cast members from the parks. These are higher paid, like high skill like people, right? And I get that it needs to be expensive to pay for all of these characters in it, but $5,000 to $6,000 is way too much. It's way too much. Like, I think somebody ran the numbers, and you could go on a cruise for 7 days in like a suite or concierge on a Disney cruise, like high level, like stuff like that, like a high level, like upgrades on a cruise, and you're still pulling at like 5 maybe. And it's like 7 days on a cruise. I'm like, but you only get 2 days on there. That's wild. It's wild. I don't know. It's just disappointing to see. And you know the people who worked on, there's people who worked on that are huge Star Wars fans and who do definitely understand Star Wars, but somebody was pulling the strings that just really made that feel not correct. It just doesn't give off the Star Wars feel at all. Just doesn't give it off. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it that's just, it just feels like generic, like Star fun.
I'm thinking about getting a podcast going for my game line developer side job. Since you did your Disney Talk podcasts before, any tips for getting something like that started?
That's a good question. So just on the technical side real quick, audio is so important, Cass, is so important. Make sure you research and get invested in a good microphone. Microphones are actually the most important part of any content creator, because it's the first thing, like, viewers will forgive a certain level of visual, I can't think of the right word, visual issue. I don't know, maybe lesser quality visually, but audio, no. Like humans do not like poor audio. that is very like that is a thing. So so make sure you just technically get the audio set up, and then after you get that done, you know, just start doing it. Even if you don't upload the first thing, just do some tests. Do a little test here, do a little test there. And then once you get into it, you just got to get in a rhythm. Then eventually you'll find your groove, and you'll dive right into it. But the thing is, you just have to do it. And at the end of the day, good microphones, bad microphones, whatever, you just have to do it. There's too many people that I know who had such great ideas who just never followed through on them. So you just have to do it, and know that sometimes this one might not be good, but this one will be good. You just got to push through those lows. And it always just comes down to, you have to just do it. There's 1,000 reasons your brain will tell you that you can or can't this or can't that or whatever, but sometimes you just have to just push past it. Oh my gosh. Darker, thank you so much for the 20 gifted subscriptions aboard the Starship Good Times. That is very generous to you and very much appreciated. So thank you so much for the support. That's very, very much appreciated. That's very much appreciated. Kaz, like if you I don't know, like you have, if you need any help with microphones, just let me know. Let me know and I can help you out. But when it comes to, I know some people have asked where the Disney podcast is, and it's something that I definitely want to do again. I think the issue that I have right now is I don't want the podcast to be negative all the time. I'm a person that when it comes to a lot of stuff with Disney, it's like, I'm like, this is cool, this is trash. I'm not somebody that's always like, oh, you know, the $800 cupcake is the best thing I've ever had in my life. Or I'm so angry that they painted this green. It used to be dark green. You know, like there's that kind of like mentality in the Disney community. So it's like, I love my $800 cupcake. This is the best cupcake I've ever had. It's 20% smaller, but that makes it easier to eat. You know, it's like that overly like positive. And then there's the people like, I like the wall. Wait, I got to do the arms. I like the wall when it was dark green. Now it's light green. And it's like, oh my gosh. So it's when I like, I don't know. I don't want to be either of those. I want to see something that I love and I'm like, that's great. That is trash. But the issue right now is that more things, in my opinion, are negative, and I also don't want to be the negative Disney podcast. It's just not fun. Like, I want to talk about the cool stuff. I want to have fun talking about stuff that I love, but when everything is negative, in my opinion, a lot of things are just like, you're like, I don't know. I could always do things that aren't like news related, and then, you know, talk about cool like history or this or that. That would be fun. That would be fun. It does deserve criticism. It's true, but you also don't want to generate a audience that is purely there to hate on something. You just don't want to create something like that. That's just bad vibes. Like, think about a lot of fandoms where there's like this person is like overly positive about every single thing, and this channel hates everything. It's like, I like to try to find people who are in the middle, who, you know, this is cool, this isn't so good. And then you get an honest impression, because there's a lot of people, especially in YouTube, podcasts, and stuff like that, who are really disingenuous. And this is in almost all fandoms. Like, they get in a lane where they're like, I'm on positive street or I'm on negative street. And the negative crowd joins, or the overly positive crowd joins. And it's like, I don't like any of that. I like a nice, honest, like, tell it how it is, fair, but tough. Like, that's how I like. Because I wouldn't complain or this or that about something that I don't absolutely care about. Like, that'd be stupid. So, I don't know. I just have to find the right topics and the right things that, you know, show things that I don't like, but also have stuff that I do enjoy. So it's a nice mix of things. Basically comes down to is like, I'm not going to praise something that I don't like, and I'm not just going to be overly negative all the time. That's just bad vibes. Let's see. Wait, is the merch still available? It is for like another like day or so, another 2 days. I can't remember the exact day, but the like before Christmas shipping has concluded. But yeah, the merch is still available. There is a link in the description. Rocking the Swaggon shirt right now. Rocking the Swaggon shirt. Because you can have a positive environment and stuff like that and criticize something, because some things need to be criticized. You can't have everything be purely positive. That just yields to complacency and disingenuousness. So yeah, when I criticize something, it's just that's personally just how I feel about something, and that's not taking away from anything that somebody might enjoy. Like if somebody enjoyed their $800 cupcake, like all the more the power to you if you enjoy that $800 cupcake. But you know, like that's just not for me. That's just not for me. I think sometimes like also like the pendulum of like goes a little too far sometimes, where it's like any criticism is considered like toxic, and it's like that's just not the case. Like sometimes things need like a healthy, honest, rational dose of criticism, and then sometimes things go way too far in the other way, where like everything is whatever. I don't know, it's just kind of a way of the internet, I guess, in fandoms and stuff like that, that just sometimes just gets a little much. Only $900 cupcakes. Seriously, you see some of the Disney like Instagram people, and they're like the cupcakes just keep getting smaller and more expensive. Like, I'm just loving it more and more. Just loving it more and more. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. Need more. Need some more. Oh man, I've been in the Disney fan like realm for a very long time. Like back when there was, you know, not real, actually pre-YouTube. Imagine that. Back when it was like message boards and stuff like that. Oh man, back in the height of like Disney message boards, those were quite the days. There was a lot of sites back then. There's like whatever, like Diz, there's WDW or Magic or something. There's what's the other one? Something Mouse something. Yeah, that was the height of some of those. Then it's kind of evolved to like vloggers, and then it kind of morphed a little bit to like a mix of like Instagram vloggers. I know one thing: if I lived in Florida, I would have one heck of a vlog Disney channel. Like, I'm not interested in the $800 cupcakes. I know how to make a very good, interesting video in the parks. That would be cool. It would be a lot different than what is currently out there. And not that anything's bad at what people produce, but I have other ideas on how you could make a really cool vlog channel that's actually like fun and interesting, that shows the parks in a different way than a lot of them produce it. Gem is great. Gem is very great. Is this a raid from Gem is Great? Well, Gem is great. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful day. Hopefully you had a wonderful stream, Gem. Hopefully you had a wonderful stream. Thank you so much for the raid. All right, our tracks are, I think they're looking okay. Next phase is this phase. Now it is time to add the plants. See how we did this? See how the tracks tear up the land here? And then the center right below, like the, I don't know the technical term, the axle.
And Stitch needs you to watch it so you can give it an honest review of the movie and not the Disney ride.
Oh, let's see. Lilo and Stitch needs, or let's see, it needs to watch. That's, you know, you're right, Christmas. I can't even say anything. You're right. You're right. You're right. By the way, they did get rid of. I don't have a lot of justification on hating Stitch anymore, because they got rid of Stitch's Great Escape at Magic Kingdom. As you know, I took it very personally. As you know, I took it extremely personally that Alien Encounter got replaced, because I really liked Alien Encounter. I went there when I was 8, and it was scary, but it was awesome. It was like, ooh, scary, but also great. Raiders, it's fine. Scar's just ranting about Disney. He'll be over. He'll be done soon. Might be my favorite comment. But yeah, it's
been a while since I checked in. Why is it been 2 months?
You know, I've been hiking the Swiss Alps. You know, just going up mountains and down rivers. And no, just kidding. I've had a heck of some health problems the last. What they start in June? Actually, it's probably. Have it been longer than 2 months since our last stream? But yeah, no, it's yeah, a lot of health problems. Stitch live action coming soon? No, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. You're making jokes. You're making some jokes over there. There's no way. There's no way they're doing a live action Stitch. Jeez, you guys always try to get me. You silly gooses. Let's see. Have you ever thought about doing some Imagineering work for Disney? I think you would be an amazing job at it. Oh, if the Star Wars hotel's any indication, I'd be a legend at masking.
Nice to see you back toe.
I've always wanted to be an Imagineer. That was what I singularly focused on for all my life until I got sick. Was being an Imagineer, was learning the history, learning about theme park design, or just so design in general, architecture in general, theme park design, theme park architecture, was everything I thought about and did until I got sick. It was my absolute dream to be an Imagineer. Know all the greats: the Mark Davis, the John Hench, the Dorothea Redmond, the Ex Nintendo, Mary Blair, like all the greats, Harriet Burns. I met her. No, I didn't meet Harriet Burns. No, so I met a few old Imagineers. Bob Gurr, Ex Nintendo, Blaine Gibson. I'm trying to remember. There's one other, but Harriet Burns, she was in charge of the model shop in the 60s. Like she was the modeler. Like she could create some incredible models. But unfortunately at this event, she didn't attend, and sadly she died shortly after that. But yeah, she was a powerhouse when it came to modeling. Just unbelievable stuff she could create. That's back in the day, before computers and stuff. So everything was made, in these incredible models, like just so detailed. But yeah, that was my dream. But in a weird way, like I'm doing something even better in a way. Like I got my own like freedom to create what I want and make what I want and hang out with you guys. And I don't know, I kind of consider myself to be my own little Imagineer, right? We're creating these fun themed environments and stuff like that. Just wait till you see some plans that I have like coming up for like the next evolution of this. So it's exciting. I love what I do. I'm in my head, I'm like my own Imagineer.
Letter B in square, letter B in square, letter B in square.
Oh, let it be in square, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. Thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Is the chess monster party your plan? Never. It'll always be like this. No, I do. Mark my words. Next season, I really want to be more organized. I'm committed at this point. This season, I'm just disorganized. Like I've come to the. Oh man, it's not good. Let's go on a little tour. We'll come back later. But no, I am committed to being more organized, because quite honestly, like when I was tinkering around in my test world, right? This build right here was in the process of being built for weeks because I kept getting sick in the hospital, and like I kept just playing around with this build in a test world, just figuring out shapes and designs and colors and stuff. And once I finally like established like what I wanted to make and what I needed to make with it, I was like, okay, I need to get the materials that I'll probably need. I'll probably need some deep slate, probably need some terracotta. It took me 3.5 hours to find all these resources. And these are resources that I needed to mine for. I already had them. It took 3.5 hours to find it all. So I'm like, if I put the 3.5 hours into, you know, more editing or, you know, working on some extra little details, like that just makes the video better. Spending 3.5 hours rooting through chests is not a smart use of my time. The smart use of my time is just making the build better, making the video better for you. Like, not going like this. Oh shoot. Okay, I only have 18. Can I? Is there? Can I get 20 more? Okay. Let's check this one over here. Oh no. You know, that's what I basically did. 3.5 hours. So those 3.5 hours could have been spent much more efficiently.
Scar, you are a huge inspiration in both my personal life and Minecraft builds. Thank you for being amazing, wholesome, and incredibly talented in so many ways in Minecraft and beyond. I love you.
Oh, it cut off. Love you and Jelly so much. Oh, that was very nice of you. I appreciate that. Oh, why does Scarvis let you type out a message, but then at the very end it's like, oh, too long, cut you off. You know, thank you so much for the nice message. Very, very much appreciated. And thank you so much for the bits. That is very generous of you. And yeah, that was very nice of you. I appreciate that.
Letter B in square. Embrace the chest monster like Grian. Just label specific piles as wood or ores and stuff. Letter B in square. Letter B in square.
Oh, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I did last season. I mean, Mumble made that amazing storage system, and I barely got it operational, and then they're like, oh, season's over. I'm like, oh, man. Oh, it's like I just got my storage system, man. Disneyland in Hermitcraft. There's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away. Fun surprise Disney trivia for you. Who is the songwriter of "It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, Just a Dream Away"? A person? No, Walt. No. Ah, the Sherman Brothers. There we go. Yeah, that's the Sherman Brothers. Sherman Brothers, very interesting. If you want to learn more about the Sherman Brothers, there is a doc on Disney Plus about them. Really, really interesting too. Brothers, very different, prolific songwriters in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Just so many of the jingles, so many of the songs of that era were created by them that things you would never even guess. You're like, oof. But also vastly different individuals. Really, really interesting stuff. Would recommend that. Do I watch Behind the Attraction? It's okay. I didn't like that they stole content from a YouTuber. Did not appreciate that. So that was kind of annoying. I don't like the narration stuff a little bit. I like the Imagineering story on Disney Plus. That is the best. That is the gold standard for like documentary, this and that. They did do Mary Poppins. That is correct. You know what's cool is like Ex Nintendo was an Imagineer, but he was an animator and stuff like that. And then they put him in charge of making the music for Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I thought they were gonna put the boys on it, you know, put the Sherman Brothers on it, and they put me on it. And that Ex Nintendo, I mentioned him earlier. He's who created Yo Ho, like a Yo Ho Pirate's Life for Me song, and the Grim Grinning Ghost song. I met him. Unfortunately, passed away maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But really nice guy. Met him only for a little bit, but he was an awesome dude. He was a bit of a rapscallion, apparently. You know, a bit of a jokester. But yeah, he was nice. One of the nicest guys I met was something Gibson. What was his name? Not Blaine Gibson. There was another guy. I can't remember. Shoot, now I blanked on it. But it was at a an event, and it was like the first time he's ever been somewhere, and the guy was just grinning ear to ear that people like knew his drawings and his things that he created, which was cool. Let's see, Scar MCC foreshadowing. For what? For what? I know someday I'd like to do MCC. Someday. Was it Raleigh Crump? Did I see Raleigh at that? No, I don't think Raleigh was there. No, I'd love to meet Raleigh. He was in one of the recent documentaries. Raleigh Crump's another very, very interesting Imagineer. He's who created the Museum of the Weird. Like, that was supposed to be what the Haunted Mansion. So you think of like the Haunted Mansion, the parks. One of the original concepts for it was something he created called the Museum of the Weird, which was like just a museum of just incredibly weird things, like a human candle that was like melting, like just wild and crazy stuff. And it didn't make it. It didn't make it, unfortunately. But yeah, he had always some really wild ideas. I love his book. It's like I have that book. It's a really good book that he wrote. But yeah, Behind the Attraction's okay. Just edit a little odd sometimes. What theme park is the most immersive? Oof. Are we talking about parks that I've been to, or parks that I haven't been to that I know that are probably more immersive than the parks that I've been to? If I were to say parks that I have not been to, that would be Disney Seas for sure. Tokyo Disney Seas is probably the most immersive theme park, hands down, honestly. Parks that I've been to, I would probably say Disneyland. Now, Disneyland for a lot of people is like, oh, it's got the little castle, it's a little bit smaller, this and that. But in the end, Disneyland is the charm of the Disney park. So Tony Baxter, former Imagineer, you said it perfectly. Disneyland is the charm. Disney World is, I'm butchering how he said that. Charm is Disneyland. The beauty is Disneyland Paris, and the scale is Disney World. And I agree with that. That's how I would frame that. Disneyland Paris is the most beautiful Disney park that there is. Sometimes not always maintained top notch. Sometimes they're a little lax in the maintaining realm, but it is the most beautiful. They put in the most time, the energy, the passion into that park. There's so many incredible details in that park. Disney World, of course, is on a larger scale, so there's like an epicness of that scale. But sometimes there's a lot of small, intimate details that are missing in Disney World's design. Disneyland is heavily detailed, but is very small, so it has this very like tight, intimate feeling. So the buildings are closer to you, everything's closer, which I think I prefer. Yes, the castle's a little smaller for some people, you know, but I think overall Disneyland is my favorite and most immersive park. Especially considering if you looked at the entire roster of attractions at Disney World and you looked at the Disneyland, within the two parks at Disneyland, so you have Disneyland and California Adventure, these parks almost account for the exact same attraction total that Disney World has, which is hard to believe at first, but is an actual fact. That it squeezed into this very small spot is all the attractions basically that Disney World has in their roster. And that's spanned over 4 parks and, you know, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of acres. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool trivia. Specific immersive lands. That's probably, so in recent years, we've had immersive lands such as Cars Land, Wizarding World, Star Wars. I'm not going to call Toy Story Land immersive. It probably was before the budget cuts. Trying to think, what other land specific immersion areas are there? I think that I know. I mean, I'm probably missing something. But like when there's a land that you just, Pandora, that's a good point. I haven't been to those Harry Potter ones, so I'll defer that. But and I haven't been to Pandora either, but I would say probably Star Wars Land's the most immersive. But then that gets onto the thing where I get a little frustrated because Star Wars Land is where there was a lot of budget cuts. Like we lost the roaming droids, we lost the entertainment, we lost the dinner show, we lost the bantha ride. It's still an amazing land, an incredible land, but some of those really immersive elements were cut. But it's still a credible land. The thing that I wish they would do right now for Galaxy's Edge, and this is what I've said before, is I think they should theme the Millennium Falcon to Mando. So the theme would be Mandalorian goes to Hondo Anako, one of my new favorite characters. I want to see him in Boba Fett. He goes to him to take Baby Yoda to safety or take him somewhere, right? So in the meeting area where you meet Hondo Anako, who's that incredible animatronic, there's Mando's up on the screen, and then Baby Yoda like is in its little bassinet, whatever. And at one point when he's talking, the little bassinet opens, you can see Baby Yoda in there. So the whole point of it is you're trying to smuggle this cargo, which is Baby Yoda, off-world. And I think that'd be a really cool, I think that would make a Millennium Falcon amazing. Especially if there is a little Baby Yoda animatronic. Oh my God. Could you even imagine? Second thing I'd like Galaxy's Edge to do is ditch that timeline. They tried it. It didn't work. I appreciate them trying. I think it was cool that they tried it. Didn't work. Let's get the whole fleet of Star Wars characters out there. Let's get Padme. Let's get Darth Vader. Let's get Anakin. Let's get Obi-Wan. Let's get C-3PO, R2, Lando, the whole crew. We need the whole crew there. We need everybody there. We need the whole crew. Princess Leia. We need the whole crew. Yoda. Yeah, we need the whole crew out there. And then the other thing they need to do, in my opinion, to make it better is add actual music to the land. It's eerily weird not having music playing in a Disney theme park. So that's how I'd make it more immersive. Yeah, Ahsoka, yeah. Ahsoka would be great too. That would be a great character. That's what she's top 5 favorite characters of mine. Music is 199% of the experience. 100% correct. 100% correct. It is a darn shame that they made incredible music. Like John Williams actually scored music for Star Wars Land that they have, as far as I know, never used. Unless it's in Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance was not open when I went. Gems, 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 gems. 51 months, Gem. That is amazing. Hope you're doing well, Gem. Very good to see you. 51 months. That's wild. And they don't use it. That's criminal. It is. You can search it, Galaxy's Edge, John Williams. Listen to that music. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's really good. That's you know, I love Galaxy's Edge. It was very fun. But that's the one thing I was like a little bit bummed out about when Galaxy's Edge opened. That there was, you know, they talked about it to nauseum at like events and D23s and Star Wars Celebration, all these places about like the roaming droids, the costume Star Wars alien characters that would be roaming Star Wars land and stuff. And then when it opened, they weren't there, and it was like, oh, you know, like they talked about this stuff. It wasn't even just like something that, you know, was a rumor of such. You know, it was stuff that they really, really were promoting. And then when it wasn't there, it was like such a bummer. And you wonder who was in charge of the parks at that time and who's now in charge of the whole kit and caboodle. You wonder, and then it all makes sense. It all comes around, and then you see where we're at. My rants are ending. All right, I'm done ranting for the day. I'm done ranting. Big Dragon, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Very much appreciated. Some people know what I'm talking about out there. I know you, and I appreciate you.
Letter B in square. Letter B in square. Letter B in square.
Squares are here. We're good. Thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciate it. And Pink Dragon, once again, thank you so much for the gifted subscriptions. Very much appreciate it. Big Man Bob. Man, that guy needs to turn around what he's doing. Or apparently the CEO's upset that people call him, you know, a penny pincher and stuff. And it's like, you know how you could fix that? Not being a penny pincher. I mean, it's possible. I mean, this is a curable thing. This is a curable thing. This is a very curable thing.
Do I see a hype train?
Oh, Gems, headphones are falling. Gems, thank you. Thank you so much for the bits. Very, very much appreciated. I'm a dodging. I'm a weaving. Very much appreciated. Okay. I think this is looking decent. This is kind of what I was hoping for.
Yes, there is a hype train.
Oh, Corin, no. Corin, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. Very, very much. That is looking okay. It's a little spotty. If you know what I mean by that, like spotty is when you are texturing in Minecraft and you're just going like this. You're just poking holes. I really don't like that. I like veins. Like you think of like a vein, like an ore vein. And when you texture, you want to create like veins like that. You have a source and then you work outwards from there. Captain Crafting, no. Captain, that guy, that's unbelievable. Captain, thank you so much for the support. That is unbelievably generous. I very, very much.
Letter B in
very
square.
Much appreciate that. That's very generous.
Letter B in square to really get that immersive. Letter B in square. Look.
Oh, rum and a rum. Here we go. Thank you once again, rum. Mother of Korg is coming. Oh my god. Oh, Mother of Korg, thank you so much. That's very generous of you, rum. I don't know what to say. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I very, very much appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you guys so much for the support. Honestly, don't know how much that means.
Hype train, hype train.
Especially right now. I appreciate that all very much, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But as I was saying too, the spotty nature, right? It's a little spotty, but I think we can cure that with some trees and stuff. Block out the parts that we don't like. Oh, Christmas, thank you. Very much, Christmas. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Very much appreciate that.
Time to break Scar. I like this point of streams.
I like that. I don't even know what to say. I thank you guys very much. Anime Angel, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Dragon Storm, thank you so much for the 10-month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Miles Redmond, thank you so much for the 19-month resubscription. Very much appreciated. Very much. Thank you. That's very generous of you all. Rosemary, thank you for the 3 months. Oh, you guys broke me. I am officially a broken Scar. I'm broken. Thank you guys. MB Moose, thank you so much for the 5 gifted tickets aboard the Starship Good Times. Very much appreciated. Very, very much. Very, very much, guys. Very much. Okay. I definitely don't think my parents are around. I got to tell you what I got my dad for Christmas. So, my dad's wanted something for a very, very long time.
Forgot. Happy holidays to you and the entire Scar fam.
Gems, thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. You guys are absolutely incredible. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holidays and Christmas,
just
Gem.
need to get in on this breaking Scar thing. Smile.
Very much. Res, thank you. Res, I gotta. I don't know. The guys are just killing me. You guys are just killing me. Why are you not a mod? What? Hold on. Hold on. How does this work? I haven't done this for a while. I don't remember how this works. I'm gonna break something. Oh, it's. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Whoop whoop, breaking Scar.
How do you do this? Twitch changes things like every once in a while, and it's like I don't know how this works. Oh my gosh! Wow, they really did change this. How does this work? How does this work? Hold on. There is the buttons. I knew there would be a button somewhere around there.
For life.
I knew there would be a button. There we go. Oh, Pink Dragon, thank you. That is incredibly generous. 50 gifted subscriptions to the community. That is very generous of you. If you received a gifted subscription from Pink Dragon, please, please, please thank them in the chat. That is very, very generous. Very, very generous. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. There's so many announcements.
YouTube/mod, letter B in square, letter B in square, letter B in square.
There's so many announcements. I can't even keep up. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. That's what I can't even talk. So, thank you for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Very much appreciated. Very, very, very much. Very much. Thank you. Oh man, you guys broke the old scar. Very much. I don't even know what to say. I have no words. I very much appreciate that. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's right. I was gonna tell you. So my dad. So I'm pretty sure they're gone. I think they went on a walk. So, hence the note left on my door. It says "went on walk." Thought I heard a creeper. So my dad's been wanting a kayak for years, and he would never in the world get him something for himself. So I was like, you know what? He hasn't been able to do a lot lately, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him the kayak, right? And then I'm like, how do I get the kayak around? How do I figure this out? Bobby Stickman, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subscriptions aboard the Starship Good Times. That's so generous of you and very much appreciated. So thank you so much. Very, very much appreciated. And Olander, thank you so much for the bits. Very much appreciated. I'm a Dodge and I'm a Weaving. Very much appreciated, my friend. Very, very, very much. Thank you so much for the support. Very much, guys. It's also great to see you, Olander. So I got him for that. Then I'm like, how am I going to get this around? And luckily there was shipping. Costco came through. And then it was like the delivery people were like, and where do you want this? I'm like, where do you put something that's 10 feet long, 50 pounds? Where do you hide something that you can't actually move in the slightest? And then at the last second, I'm like, hot dang, I know what it is. The backyard, to bury it. See, I couldn't put it in the garage like that. You know, he's always in the garage, you know, working on something, this and that. So I couldn't put it in there. And then I was like, the back deck. I'm like, I'm gonna ask them if they can, because they would put it anywhere. So I'm like, how about the back deck? So they put it in the back deck. And then I'm like, oh, he goes out here all the time. Then I'm like, I'm gonna put a blanket on it. So now there is a kayak shaped blanket, wet blanket, mind you. It's rained literally, I feel like, for 2 months straight in the Northwest. So now there's this soggy wet blanket in the back, just dripping in a perfect shape because the wet of the blanket, right, like makes the shape of it. So it's this perfect kayak shape. And I'm like, man, I did my best. He's just being a sport by not saying anything. I hope he likes it. It's something he's been talking about since like 2014, and the man would never buy himself something. If he wants to buy something for himself, he makes up 1,000 excuses, like, you know, it's really cheap, it was well used, it was on sale, it was in the clearance aisle, they told me it was a good value. So yeah, I hope he likes it. The goal is to get him out. The goal is to get him a little bit out. He's had a rough 2 years. So maybe something to kind of get him out there would be great. But I wish you guys could see it. It is a soggy wet blanket shaped as a kayak on the deck. And I'm like, it's the best I could do.
It was a good, letter B in square, worth the cost of, letter B in square.
It's square, that's true. But yeah, hopefully he likes it. If he likes it, I hope like my mom would want one. Like, I think it'd be cool if she did. But maybe just like let him get used to it. Let's see if it works, whatever. But there's lots of fun lakes and stuff around here. When he was talking about it a while back, I was like, where would you take it? And he's like, the river. I'm like, the river? The Columbia Gorge River? No, I think you might be taking that on a nice soft lake. Nice soft river lake at best. Gonna go on the Columbia River Gorge. I don't know if that would be safe. Don't know if that would be safe. But yeah, I'm really excited for him to get that. I just think it was hilarious that the wet blanket shaped out there. Yeah, the Columbia River could be a mess. Oh, I know. Long ago, in another life ago, we had a little boat that we took out there, and there were times those waves, my friend, were, whew, it gets a little wild out there, especially going further up the gorge. It's wild, man. That feels like a lifetime ago, honestly.
Your dad should, letter B in square, take a trip, letter B in square, to kayak on the El Rio Claro River. It's super, letter B in square.
Ooh, that sounds fancy. All right, I think the plants are good. I think we've established what I've wanted. The trees will take a while. The trees will take a long time to get those in there, but at least we have our tire tracks that go through here. So I think that is good. This, I like that a little more over here, maybe. Oh, I only have 4 blocks, but I think that's probably good. I think that's good. At least adds a rhyme and reason to that. This area is next. We'll need to work on that and then clean up this. We'll need to clean up that island. That island is horrendously ugly. But yeah, I think that's looking good. It just gives the wagons like a place they've come from. So I think that's good. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this in my last episode. I cleaned up the interior to the hat shop. So I have all the hats here. So we have Mumbo's hat here now. We have Grian's hat. I have Mumbo's hat on this little stage here just because it's just like beyond epic. There is another hat that you've never seen, and that's the waffle hat. I just haven't found the perfect time to give it to Grian. But I did think of an idea potentially for the waffle hat. So my idea is that we could either get, I don't think you can you put a hat on a witch? Can you put a hat on a witch? No? Okay. All right. So plan B would be if we could. Oh, there might be spoilers here. So we're gonna be walking real low, just making sure that I don't see anything. Walking low, keeping my eye on the ground. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh, shakies. If we could get potentially like a villager in here, we put the waffle hat on it. Oh my gosh, that thing finally oxidized. I don't understand the mechanics behind these pieces of copper and why it took so long to oxidize. I did a test once where I put copper across here. I put a single piece of copper and I put a big wall of copper. These all turned green, and this was still pure copper, just shiny as can be. Like it was just a single piece of copper. So I tested it with like single and then a little wall of copper, because obviously copper changes depending on how many blocks it's near. Weird. Anyway, so we could put a villager in here and then put the waffle hat on there because it needs something here. It's like a really cool like display case. But yeah, man, this is one of my favorite things I've ever done. I loved every minute of building this. This is foreshadowing some other things I'm working on that I think you guys will be really excited about. Oh man. Yeah, I love this. This was so much fun. I'm so happy Grian asked me to do this. So I had an absolute blast. Love this guy hanging out now. Oh no, I worked so hard to light this place up. Oh, now you're breaking the landscape. Man, I gotta tell you, I worked so hard on getting this place, because obviously I'm not in my own house, right? I'm not in my own house. I gotta be respectful of other people's house. I'm gonna take my shoes. I'm gonna take my shoes off. Oh, they're coming up from up there now. Because as you guys can see, like this carpet is extensive. Like all of these right here, these are all half slabs. Look at how good. Can I get some praise in the chat? Like, look at how good I did, right? I'm so proud of myself that, like, I had half slabs and carpets and, these thingamabobs and more thingamabobs and definitely that and all this stuff to keep this from being a mob trap. And then there's mobs falling from the ceiling. Quite sad. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this is. I really walked into it now. Oh. Okay. We're out. We're in. We're out. We're out of here. This isn't straightforward stuff. Oh my gosh. It's not straightforward stuff to repair because it's all very like organic in nature. So yeah. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. I do not want to be responsible for blowing anything up. Oh my gosh. But I gotta tell you, that was some of the most fun I've had building in a very long time. That's a big move. That was such a blast. When is the update to 1.8? I don't actually know. I don't know. I'd probably know that if I went to meetings. But life is not as fair, or not fair. That's the wrong word to say. It's just not cooperating is a better way. But there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed today. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed hanging out with you.
Some good carpets back there.
I hope you enjoyed it. I've been wanting to stream for so long, and I went to bed early 2 days in a row. Try to get enough energy to stream. But yeah, had so much fun hanging out with you guys. It's been so long. What are you guys gonna do without Disney rants? Me complaining about stuff? We didn't even get into space talk. We didn't even get to space talk. We'll have to do that next time. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming out. It's very, very much appreciated. If you were new around here, make sure you hit the follow button to be notified when I go live again. If you're a regular, well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being patient with me being gone, of course. Mods couldn't do it without you. If you're a new subscriber, make sure you use those jelly emotes. And of course, join us on Discord. We'd love to have you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the resubscriptions, all the bits. Very, very much appreciated. Grimtalky, thank you so much for the bits. But yeah, it's very much appreciated. Lots of fun things. We got a rocket to build. Who knows what's gonna happen with that thing? I have made skins. I got spacesuits. It's gonna be great. But yeah, tons of really fun things planned for Hermitcraft. I really want to build that barge, by the way. I think that'll be really fun. But yeah, guys, once again, thank you so much for coming out. Let's see who we can raid out in the wonderful worlds of Twitch. Let's see who's out there. Hello, hello, hello. Doopy-doopy-doo. Is that a sliced lime? Oh, it's a wonderful sliced lime.
Lesbian square
How do you raid again? Oh yeah, here we go. All right, guys, let's go raid sliced lime, of course. He's probably playing on the legacy server, of course. Minecraft developer. Let's go say hi to Slice. Awesome person. So hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and don't forget, new video up, and the Swaggon merch, there's a link in the description, take you over, check out the Swaggon merch. Ooh, swag. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for the support, and we are off to see Slice Lime. I think I pushed the button right. That's a good question if we did push the button right. If I didn't push the button right, that would be a darn shame. Raid now. There we go. Look at me remembering how to stream on Twitch. All right, guys.